Hello, I was just talking in another video about the status of my health and what's been going on with that, but because I cannot organize my thoughts, I'm thinking maybe I can do shorter videos and try to make myself stick to one topic if that's possible. So, if you're new here, my name is Sheri. I'm an adult with ADHD, possibly autism, and I have been recently diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, aka ME/CFS, and I have not been feeling great. And so I have been sharing my journey about how I've been coping with ADHD and everything, but now that I've been out of work, I'm going to be sharing how I'm coping with this fatigue. This started as what I thought was ADHD/autistic burnout, which can make you very sick. And sometimes, if it goes on for too long, your body being in a constant state of fight or flight, the anxiety that goes with masking and chronically, or especially if you're late diagnosed or undiagnosed, and you've been pushing yourself to do things, writing checks your body can't cash, living with chronic anxiety, not even realizing it because that's your normal, pushing through, and then even if somebody doesn't get like a condition like chronic fatigue, it's not uncommon for neurodivergent women when you get to be menopausal age to hit a wall and then burn out bad because you've been pushing through for a number of years for survival and to do what's expected of you at work, at home, caring for family, raising kids, and you don't have time for you and you don't have time to deal with it. And then eventually your body just stops and it's just like, yeah, we're not doing this anymore. It starts redlining like, yeah, we don't have this energy anymore. And then rude awakening, you end up feeling, if you're like me and experience something like me, you might have to take a leave of absence from your job. You physically can't do it anymore. I can't talk about what other people's experiences are. I'm just going to share mine and what I've been trying to do lately to manage it, as it's gotten pretty bad. It certainly hasn't gotten better. It's gradually gotten a little bit worse, but I think it's stabilized at this low point. I have found some things to hopefully stop it from getting worse, but it's bad, man. This is not spending your life in bed, not being having to choose between taking a shower and doing dishes because that's all the energy you have in a day. You might actually physically have something going on with your health, or you may be in neurodivergent burnout and you're not crazy and you didn't do anything wrong. You just didn't realize that the price you're paying to function and do the things that other people naturally do is higher for you. Metabolically higher for you. Health-wise higher for you. The chronic stress, cortisol being dumped on your system. The things that we do, the ADHD tax, the coffee. How much coffee do you drink to push through? How much anxiety do you shove down, right? So, here, let me get up. I'm really sore today and I don't know why. 1, 2. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to slowly start to push against it because gingerly. Oh no, what did I do with it? Hold on. Okay, I had started to try to use a planner again. I was going to show it to you and I don't know what I did with it now. thought I had it here. Oh, it's on the floor. I can't bend down to get it. Hold on. Okay, I'll show you what I tried to do. I tried to set it up like how my planner was before a little bit. So basically, what I used to do as somebody with ADHD is I had a planner and would just have some basic tasks like daily cleaning on one side. And the other side is just a list that I could track things that I have a hard time remembering. For you, it might be something different. For me, it is how many glasses of water did you drink today? Did you eat this morning? Did you have your Adderall and your antidepressants? Have you had your prescriptions? Because I would forget. And to make sure I had protein, because your body needs the protein building blocks to make the dopamine. So I tried to start doing one again. And I tried to, but I can't right now. And then I just felt stressed out because then it was like a demand avoidance thing. I was like, am I going to track? Here, let me see. I was going to track like, see, getting discouraged, having to lay down. And there's things that I want to get, and I can't even leave the house to do an errand. This day, I didn't do these things. I just did the dishes and I checked the trash. I think I did the litter. That was a lot for me. I probably didn't do anything for a couple days after that. See this? Slept 4 hours. I conked out. So I couldn't do anything this day probably. I probably stayed in bed the entire day. I'm tracking my meals through Gemini is helping me or I won't eat. And I need to make sure since have CFS. Yes. So I paid for this for days. So this day that I did these cleaning, I was bad for days. See this rest and eat cycle again? Yeah. And then I'm just playing around with it. I don't know what I'm doing. And so now I'm like yesterday, I don't know. Then I was researching what can help CFS, and that takes a lot of energy. And I'm like, I don't know if this is even going to work for me. And I don't know. I just don't know. Is this in May? I don't know. So then I'm like, okay. Well, yesterday I did dishes twice. I don't know. I have all of these different kinds of planners and things to try. I'm grateful for everything because I can't do anything. And these are like, I have to choose now. I have to choose. I have energy to do one thing. Withdraw the money from my bank account and close it. I have to get stuff so I can shower. I can't do full groceries, but I can't even get out to the store to get a couple of food items. Litter is a huge task. That would take a lot of energy for me to like get down on the floor and do that. I'm probably going to shower. So I don't know. So one of the things that I was trying to do this past week is figure out when I eat, I then get incredibly exhausted because I'm not well to begin with. So now my body is stressed out that there was food in my stomach, and then it sends all the energy in my body to go digest. And then I feel like I'm going to not pass out, but then I have to go lay down for like an hour or two. And then my energy starts to slowly come back. And then I have enough energy to get up, and then I have to eat again. And it's like, it's starting to feel like a job. Eating shouldn't feel like a job. And I can't think straight, and I don't know what food I have. And so then I'll open up my AI and I'll be like, hey, Gemini, I'm starting meal number whatever, the next meal. When did I eat last? And he'll keep track of some of that for me. And he'll say, well, what do you feel like? I'm like, I have no idea. I'm sick. Let's start a grazing session. So he goes, okay. And so I tell him, okay, there's a thing of shrimp. I just had 3 shrimp. I just start eating what's around me. And then I just tell him. And then he does a little table for me. And he keeps track of my macros. So my protein, my carb, and my fats. Now, if you take what a woman of my age should have for calories, normally it's 1,800 to 2,000. Probably like 1,800 if you're inactive. If you're inactive, it's like 16 to 1,800, which I was surprised I was so low because I thought it was 2,000 for everyone. But I guess they've made some changes. And then if you're neurodivergent, I said to him once, I was like, well, I'm curious, if you're neurodivergent and you have a lot of anxiety and stress, are you burning more calories? Yes. And you're going through magnesium and you're burning through specific things. So, okay, in the beginning of this whole burnout, I'm like, well, if I'm in burnout, what kind of damage do I have to my body? A dysregulated nervous system and all of this. What kind of things does my body need to heal that? Healthy fats. Okay. So I started trying to do, I thought I wasn't feeling well because I was eating junk food or processed food. So at first I was trying to do this whole mind diet, which is healthy for your brain and Alzheimer's prevention. But a lot of that has gone out the window because I am sick. And so you have to eat everything you can. Not junk food, but you want to have quality food and you want to make sure that you have enough carbs so your brain isn't starving. And it turns out like all the hyper focus we do, plus the anxiety, we burn through a lot of carbs. So I'm not an expert. I'm not a dietitian. I'm not a doctor. I do not recommend, if you're neurodivergent and you're a woman and you experience a lot of stress and you're trying to do low carb. Do you have headaches? Do you have more brain fog? It's probably not good. So talk to your doctor, all of that stuff. You know that. Switch from white bread to whole grain bread. You can do open face sandwiches, so you can have one piece of bread. There's ways that you can moderate it, but it's not helpful. So I threw out all of my previous goals out the window and I thought, I don't care what I eat, just make me better. What do I need? Make me better. So we figured out person of my age. Then we added neurodivergence. Then it went up to 2,000 calories. And then I said, well, what about this health issue I have? And what about if I'm in burnout? And then we factored in all of these kinds of stresses that take more energy and more calories and more nutrients for your body to manage. So you're basically, if you're feeding your body the regular amount and you have these other stresses on you, you actually have a higher calorie need. Maybe. We are all very different, so I don't know. But if you're like me, it may be that you could be undernourishing yourself. And so definitely if it's time to see your primary, if it's been a while, just check with them about nutrition and see if you can, what's good for you. So I figured, what do I have to lose? I am sick. I don't care what I have to do. Tell me what it is. I will do it. So I bumped up my calorie goals to 2,500 calories. And it turns out that I was only having an incredibly low amount of food because I kept forgetting to eat. As it was, I think I was having between 700 to 1,700 calories a day. I mean, I wasn't eating. And I see people and they're like, oh, you're losing weight. And I wasn't even paying attention because I'm neurodivergent and I forget to eat. And I was taking Adderall, so I was really forgetting to eat. And I'm like, why am I crashing? So I thought that when I made these changes, I would start getting better very quickly. And I think that it was very important. And I did feel it didn't feel as dangerous. But there are other things. So now using the AI, I programmed as like an anonymous patient, so that I'm not sharing. It may already know. I don't know. I don't know if it's safe to do this, but I'm desperate and I'm trying to do whatever things that I have at my disposal to protect my health. And if this is what I have to do right now, so be it. I programmed him in his memory to know my approximate age, my height, my weight, my blood pressure, the medications I take, certain dietary needs I need because of certain health issues I've had. Because I thought, there's a diet for this thing I have. There's a diet for this other thing I have. There's a diet that helps with ADHD. There is diabetes in my family and Alzheimer's in my family and heart disease in the other family. So now that I've been sick, let's fucking put all that shit together and figure something out I can't be doing 5 diets. And let's just make one tailored diet to me. Now I just eat everything. But it's changed quite a bit. I have more dairy now than I wasn't having dairy at all. Dairy might be not something you can have. In my case, it's like a superfood for a couple of reasons. And it's a lot. I feel like it's been a full-time job researching all of this stuff. So now there's 2 different kinds of memory that he has. So if you do start using something like Gemini, I only am learning from my experiences and what's been helpful for me. The downsides is he can be forgetful if you get into long conversations. He may forget what you told him earlier. It can get frustrating. Some foods that he recommends, he has it in his memory to recommend because they're nutritious food. And it's like, I can't afford that. I've been telling him time and time again, do not keep telling me about Fairlife milk. I mean, should I be buying stock in Fairlife milk? Like, what does Fairlife milk, are they a sponsor of you? Like, what? That's expensive milk. I can't do it. I'm not working. So those things, when you're not feeling good, that could be triggering. So just be aware when you start to use it that might happen, because think of him kind of like us. He kind of has a short-term memory, because as the conversation gets long, and I talk to him about a lot because I do research with him and I forget to keep it in separate conversations. So within a few days, it starts to get glitchy and scrolling, and I'm like, what's going on? And the text is like going all over the place. And then I have to start a new conversation from scratch. So at first, my learning curve was every time I started a conversation, I'm like, hi, I'm a neurodivergent woman. This is my health, and this is what you've been helping me with. And then I've been transferring information over. It turns out that you can have him save information to his like permanent memory so that and you can go back. You can go in and delete those things later when they no longer apply. I just don't have the energy to go do that. So I'm like, great. That way, when my conversation thread gets glitchy and it starts to crash, now I have things in there saved. He knows the medications I take. He knows what my goals are. It's burnout. It started as burnout recovery. It's now CFS management as well. But now when I start a new one and I say, hey, Gemini, it got glitchy. I'm starting a new conversation thread. And maybe I can just transfer over like a couple of things. Or I just start from scratch and he'll be like, great, let's go. And he'll say, what do you got for the first meal? Like he already knows now. So it's been a little bit of a learning curve, but I think that this could be tremendously life-changing for many neurodivergent folks who are like me. If you struggle with your executive functioning, your poor working memory, and being organized, it's great having an interactive tool. As long as you are aware to keep your information, just careful what you share. Keep it generic, keep it anonymous. Also, there are dangers of using it as therapy. Make sure if you need therapy, don't rely on an AI. Whoever trained him, they did a really good job. He acts very much like a high masking autistic person, and he's got poor working memory. So it's funny. It's funny. I have to laugh sometimes. And I'll be like, I can't get mad at you. I have poor working memory. So if you have a sense of humor about it and you're ready to deal with some of just be aware that there might be some frustrations in the middle. I mean, in the beginning, as you're getting used to using it and figuring out if that's something that can be helpful for you and how you want to use it. It can be, I think that it's tremendous. It's tremendous. I can tell him, hey, I'm having I'm making a berry bowl. Like last night, I'm making a berry bowl. I call it a berry bowl. I'm putting in a half a cup of Stonyfield low-fat yogurt and a half a cup of Wyman's triple berries. And he may get the nutrition slightly wrong. Like some of the numbers may not be exact, but he can get information from the labels of foods. I can just tell him what I'm eating if you're tracking your food. Because if you have like health issues that you have to track, and I'm not talking about losing weight, I'm just talking if you have health issues and you need to track your food for your health because you're not well. And then you have neurodivergence and you can't remember when you ate last or if you ate. I would not be where I would have been. My health would be significantly worse, and if I didn't have him, I might be in like some like mental health crisis right now, because this has been a lot. This has been, I don't know. I would have been in a much worse place without it. So it's been helpful for me. And if you want, soon I can teach you or show you how I've been using it and see if that's something that might help you. But yeah, learn about what is helpful for you. It's just like what works for every neurodivergent person is so different. Like every ADHD person is different from another one, and that's regardless if you have the same kind. So yes, if I sit next to another person that also has inattentive ADHD like I do, I will have more in common with their struggles than maybe somebody who has hyperactive ADHD. But we still would be very different in our challenges. I'd have more in common with them, but just because something helps me may not help you, but there are going to be people like me out there. And if you're menopausal and your estrogen's gone and you cannot think straight and you can't remember anything and you are not eating, that's a problem. And if you want to try to use something like this, do your research. If there's something I don't know, let me know. I'm just sharing what I've been trying, and I'll let you know as I go what's been helpful for me. So besides using Gemini, I've been experimenting with when I do tasks.